Greetings, Reelers. My name is Philip, and together with my wife Sherry and two of our friends, Chris and James, we're Fellowship of the Reel. 4 people who love talking about movies almost as much as we do watching them. We hope you will join us as we dig deep into cinematic masterpieces, and some that are, well, maybe not. You have an opportunity to be the 5th host of our little show. Click the link in the show notes and leave us a voice message telling us what movie you would like us to review. You can also reach out on our Facebook page, Fellowship of the Reel. From all of us at Fellowship of the Reel, thanks for listening. Okay, on with the show. At this point in the movie, I'm like, okay, well, here's what you should have done. And I'm thinking...
Yeah, right. It's one of my favorite openings ever.
And I've watched that alternate ending, and it is garbage.
It doesn't go where you think it's going to go.
There's a monster. I'm ready for it to be over. Well,
But I'm not sure I can even fully explain why I love this movie so much.
I had some issues with this scene.
My feelings on it have not changed.
I fell asleep until the screaming. This is actually where I started enjoying the movie.
This is one of my favorite scenes in all of cinema.
I thought that should have been cut completely.
Why?
Well, I'm sure it's artistic and you just don't get it. Fellowship of the Reel, 4 friends in a movie. Here we are. Been a while. We are going to start off with Sherry's. What do we call this? We can share.
Sherry's Queries, right?
Well, we started Sherry's queries, and then we was notable quotables, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you decided on?
Nice. Notable quotables.
Yeah.
Sherry's notable quotables.
Quotable notables.
Quotable notables. All right.
All right.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Bring it.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, Sherry. Hit us with.
All right. First one. You can't handle the truth.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
A Few Good Men.
Few good
Yes.
men. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
You can't say, oh, yeah. You have to say the time.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the time. Yeah, Few
I
Good
had the
Men.
same problem.
Jack Nicholson.
He goes, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Shit, what is it?
Yeah.
Couldn't get it
You
out.
want me on that wall, you know.
Okay. All right. The next one. This is, I just looked up the movie and I said, what quotes are in this movie? And I've seen the movie. You're probably not going to know this. I didn't know it. But anyway, let's see who knows it.
If I don't know something, you don't know it. That's for sure.
Yeah, no.
You
All right, you
everything
ready?
I know.
Sticking feathers up your butt does not make you a chicken.
I have no idea.
That's a.
I feel like I've heard it, but I can't think of what movie.
I don't
it's
think I've
from.
ever even heard that.
You've seen the movie once because I asked you to watch it with me. I'd already seen it.
Did you like the movie?
Ah.
Yeah, I did.
Did he like the movie?
No.
Did we? I think.
It's not Steel Magnolias, is it?
No.
I was about to say, that's the one you keep threatening.
All right. You want to know?
Sure.
It was Fight Club.
Oh, man.
Oh, that yeah.
Brad.
I know. I have seen
No,
it
I'm
maybe
saying
once.
who said it. It was Brad Pitt.
Oh, was it?
Actually said the line.
Yeah, you got us on that one.
No, I've seen Fight Club once or whatever.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
I guess I like that movie. All right, not enough to. We had it for a while. I thought maybe we still do, but
I like
I
the
think
movie
we
and
may have bought it like when Blockbuster was going out of business for cheap. And
yeah. But I've even having it, I've never watched it a second time.
No, I've only watched it twice. Once while you were probably on deployment, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Chuck Palahniuk is the author. I've gotten where I like his stuff quite a bit. Like he wrote one called Pygmy, and it's about this someone from another country. Like he never says what country. Like it could be Russia, it could be China. It's that kind of thing. And the guy, he's a teenager, but he comes over to infiltrate like America and to like, you know, be a terrorist or whatever. But it's written from his point of view, but the whole thing's broken English and it's his reports.
Oh,
And it's operative me, blah, blah. Like it's just the challenge of having to write something in broken English, like, cause you're reading along or whatever. And like, I don't know, I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite book just because I guess I appreciate the effort it probably took to write it that way. And then, cause when you're first reading it, it's kind of off putting, but you catch on to where,
you get the
you read it pretty
sense for it.
smoothly by the end.
All
Right.
All right.
last one.
I'm gonna look when I get home now.
Whoever says it first, because everybody's going to know this one. As you wish.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Yeah,
Princess.
I'm not even gonna try that. Of course, I can.
Yay.
Yeah, it's right here on the wall.
Wesley.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, good deal. I got a couple of those.
She crushed us with the middle one.
Well, that was in a very obscure. Which you don't want them all to be as you wishes. So
I just found it an interesting line, and I thought, well, it's kind of, I don't know, it it's not a famous quote, but
but
it kind of sticks out.
But the famous ones are easy. So you gotta, if you know, if you're an expert, you're gonna get the more obscure ones.
Well, there's some movies that I've seen over and over. Y'all may not have seen that. I know every little.
Yeah, sure.
Every little line. So
yeah. All right. Well, good deal. All right. So we're doing Demolition Man first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Demolition Man. All right. I guess we'll get into this, and then because I have, we all have something about this, so we'll get into this. All right. So let's start off with Money Critics Fans. All right. Does anybody have this stuff that they want to go with, or?
I think you're the only one with a printer. So
okay. Yeah. And I print the internet. Yeah. So
I think we all just Phil, get it.
Yeah. No. Well. I was
whose pick it is.
Stop asking.
Well, I mean, when it's someone else's movie, I don't want to tread on their time
or on their parade. Yeah.
Yeah. So but that's cool. Money Critics Fans. Initially, when I first watched this, I thought these scores were high. Watching it 2 or 3 times, I appreciate the movie more as I watched it. I remember when it first came out, really liking it. Watching it with a more critical eye the first time, couple last week or whatever. And then watching it twice more, I started warming back up to it. But I think it is what it is. So the tomato meter is 62% and 66%. 62% of fans, 62% of critics gave it 3.5 stars or above, and 66% of the audience gave it 3.5 stars and above. We'll get into the money in a second. I struggled with this movie because, we'll get into that. I don't want to shoot it all at once, but I thought the movie was unduly praised initially. And so I looked up, did it win any awards? Well, and this I think is entirely unfair.
It won some Razzies.
Well, one Razzie. Sandra Bullock won a Razzie for worst supporting actress. Okay.
This was right before Speed, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speed was 94. This was 93.
Yeah.
19. It was the first one I remember seeing her in. But I thought she was real cute in this movie.
No. Well, we're going to get into that. Yeah, so she won
a whole section.
Well, anyway.
I mean, when I say cute, I mean just her misquoting all the little things she said.
Played her role well.
Well,
yes.
So for the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films gave it. So that's the only award it won. It was nominated for 6 other awards. It was nominated for Best Science Fiction Film, a Saturn Award by the Academy of Science Fiction and Fantasy and Horror Films, Best Costumes, Best Special Effects. ASCAP Film and Television Music Awards, it won an award, I guess, so it won 2 awards for top box office films. We'll get into that in a second, made some money. Anyway, Best Villain nominee, Wesley Snipes. Anyway, so it got some attention, and I think, anyway, the box office, domestic box office was $58 million. Now, I found 2 figures on this. One only listed domestic, and it said it didn't have an international. So Rotten Tomatoes says it made $58 million with no worldwide release at all. Other sites, numbers.com, said that it made to $58 million, but it also international made $101 million for a total of $159 million on a $57 million budget. So depending on which you go to, and I found several that said 159, so I suspect that Rotten Tomatoes just didn't have those numbers. So it made its money, considered a success. I read somewhere in looking this up that Stallone, as late as 2020 or 2022, was thinking about a sequel.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So it made its money, and I think it was more warmly received at its release than over the course of its life. Based on the box office, 66 should be higher. Based on how it holds up over time, maybe 66 is more appropriate.
Yeah. I definitely see that 66 is kind of where I would peg it. It doesn't hold up as well as it did when I was 10 years old when this thing was released.
Yeah.
I just looked it up. I didn't realize this was rated R. I mean, it makes sense that it's rated R, but I think I went to this on one of my birthdays.
Yeah. Well,
we watched it.
I saw it in the theater as well. Yeah. I saw it in the theater as well.
I don't know. I don't think we saw it.
For some reason, I think of this as a kid's movie, but
it's
definitely not.
It's to me, it's so all right. To me, it's an all in how you go in, what expectations you have going in, and we'll get to that in the beats. Yeah. So that, like at the top of my notes, we'll get to the beats in a second, but at the top of my notes, just for my own, because I wanted to mention this, and just for my own. So I didn't lend too much to this movie or try to look for too much in this movie. I put warning, do not engage your brain at any time.
Absolutely.
During this movie.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. So I guess I have genre here. I don't know what genre y'all picked, and we'll get into the beats after this. I said it wants to be buddy love. I think it winds up being a dude with a problem. Anyway, I think as we get into the beats, I think it wants to be buddy love, and I think there's problems with that. All right. So it made its money, and I think fans and critics over time have sort of said that it's not holding up as well as maybe it did when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on? Made a shit ton of money though.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm similar to James, I guess. I enjoyed it a lot when I was a kid.
Yes.
And saw it.
I remember loving this movie.
But like if I go back, like, because Cliffhanger came out the same year.
Yeah.
I've rewatched both of those, I guess, in the last year or whatever. Cliffhanger is more enjoyable than Demolition Man to me as a rewatch. Like, it held up more.
I remember being very disturbed by the cliffhanger opening because that girl falls, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly all I remember of that
I think
movie.
one of the geniuses of that is Stallone. That's Rambo. He's not going to drop that girl.
Right.
Holy shit, he did drop
No.
and then we're off.
That's actually, I can remember that scene vividly. I'm not sure I could recall any other scenes. So yeah, it was.
That one we may have seen in the theater, but this one I for some reason think we just rented it.
I remember the posters for the poster of this, him and Wesley Snipes staring at each other, and I remember being excited, like, yeah, Dad, I want to go see that.
Sure. Yeah, all right, so let's get into the beats, because that way we can start talking about this. Yeah, and then we'll unpack this, because I'd be very interested to see how y'all broke this down if you were able to. All right, so let's do the beats. All right, so again, like I said, I think it wants to be a buddy love. I think the buddies are Spartan and Huxley, okay? But I think at some point that goes off the rails. I think it winds up being a dude with a problem, maybe. But
my instinct was dude with a problem, but I think there could be an argument made for institutionalized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because of the prison and stuff.
That's what I was thinking.
This is the new society that he wakes up to.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even thought about that.
Ends up destroying it, right? But he's the I can't remember the terms now.
The catalyst for change.
Yeah, he's the one raging against the system and stuff. He's not the Marlon Brando guy that's,
because that's what I was thinking.
Not the innocent one that is willing to join the institution, right? But he's the other one that's asking all the questions.
Yeah,
the Brando role.
That's what I thought was at the end of it with the institutionalized was you burned it down, you join it. You burn it down,
or you commit suicide.
Right, and he burns it down. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little bit dirty, you get a little bit clean, or you get a lot clean, or
I mean, I'm not saying it's a perfect solution. Could be argued that way.
Yeah,
because if you, I'm interested to see what you say about buddy love, because I was like, that's
well. All right, so I'm going to start off with this, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong, and then show me how I'm wrong. I think I called this initially a two-hander with two sets of beats that united the fun and games. So I think you have the setup with Spartan in 1996 Los Angeles, and then he goes under, and then you have this extensive setup of modern Los Angeles, essentially focusing on Huxley, Sandra Bullock's character, and her setup. And I think her setup has a set of beats, and I think his setup has a set of beats, and they meet at the fun and games part. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this is a two-hander, so these two characters are going to be paired. It's it's Riggs and Murtaugh and all that. And so I was disappointed about how they actually wound that up.
Yeah, because it doesn't work as well as Riggs and Murtaugh. And
well, I think it could have, but she's not on the poster. And there's the ending.
It's true.
Anyway, so I have initially a two-hander with two sets of beats that united the fun of games. Okay, now, and I said essentially there are only the following beats in this story. Two sets of opening images, one for Spartan, one for Huxley. Two sets of setup, one for Spartan, one for Huxley. A theme, we'll talk about that in a second. Two sets of catalyst, Spartan and Huxley. Two sets of break into two, Spartan and Huxley, and then the fun and games. I said absent are the following beats, and I could not identify any of these beats. And so that's why I'm very interested as we go through this to see if you were able to. I couldn't locate a B story, a midpoint, a bad guys close in, all is lost, Dark Knight, break into three, or a final image that mirrors the opening image. Couldn't find any of that. Essentially, this movie to me is the break into two and the next, because it breaks into two for both of them, or the fun and games for both of them start at 48 minutes. The rest of the movie is, to me, fun and games. Was not able to identify any clear demarcations. There, for instance, we'll get into it. I don't think there's ever a time when Spartan has a setback that he has to dig deep down. I don't think there's ever a time when he suffers a loss that causes him to get introspective. Anyway, but I'd be very interested to see what y'all think about that.
If it was a different kind of movie than what were you calling it? A buddy love?
Yes.
If it was a different movie like Institutionalized, would you have been able to find those plot points? Do you think?
Institutionalized is the genre, but you're still going to have
your 15 beats.
Your beats.
Okay, so there's not a different little set of rules for one versus the other.
No, the way Blake Snyder views it is like all movies can be broken into one of these 10 categories, right? So the monster in the house, institutionalized, do the problem, all that. And then you have your 15 beats, but your 15 beats are present in every single one of those genres.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
And you always have a B story and, that kind of thing. And I think if we're looking here, I think Huxley is his B story.
Well, if it's
agree.
a buddy love and institutionalized makes a lot of sense, but theoretically, Huxley and Spartan should be the B stories for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They should help each other. Yeah. Because, like the classic example is Lethal Weapon. Yeah. Riggs and Murtaugh. Murtaugh is feeling old. Riggs is feeling crazy. By the end of the movie, he doesn't feel so old. He's not as crazy.
Yeah. But she's already like halfway there because of her love for nostalgia and for 80s. She's already halfway there. Like, especially for institutionalized, and it is Brando. Like the guy I was thinking of, it's called, they call it Brando based off
Brando character,
Brando. The Brando role is versus the system, right? Versus a company man.
Yeah.
Well, like Benjamin, Bratt would be the more company man, right? I mean, he's silly and he's not, you know what I mean? Like, cause she's already halfway there. He's fully company man. And yeah, she enjoys the Oscar Mayer hot dog song too, but she likes the stuff from she's unhappy with her world or whatever.
Yes.
She would have to be completely rooted in that world and go, no, this is the way society needs to be. This is an improvement over what you lived in, Spartan. And she's not that way. She's bored. And I mean, her opening image is calling the warden or whatever, asking about make sure everything's safe. And man, I would kill for some action.
Sure. Yes. No.
So yeah, I guess doesn't work. Maybe it's to do with the problem, but I feel like there's more going on than just a do with the problem too. At least they tried to make more going on.
Yes, no, I think it's smart sci-fi on some levels in terms of maybe a commentary on society, but I think
for sure
that it's more. And I don't know if it was trying to be goofy or trying to be a comedy, because it is very enjoyable to watch in terms of comedy and that kind of thing, but.
One of the earlier drafts were more serious.
Yeah.
One of the writers that came in later.
Yeah, sure. Well, that was the other thing, because it's written by and. Yeah. So there's three separate guys who never really talked.
Sure, yeah. There's no
writing this script.
They didn't
punching
write
it all up.
Yeah, they didn't write together. Yeah.
All right. So this is my take. At no point is Spartan ever in any real trouble. There is no team. He assembles to storm the castle and break into three. This is the ending, and we can talk about it when we get there, but. The two-hander becomes a one-hander when Spartan removes Huxley from the action by rendering her unconscious, for which he thanks him. I want us to talk about that either when we get to it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Society is rendered corrected by Spartan, who says the scraps, the underground, and the residents of San Angeles should meet somewhere in the middle and you'll figure it out. So I think this is, a symptom of the entire movie. Very simplistic almost in a lot of its choices, like really overly simplistic.
Yeah,
for sure.
In its choices. And then, of course, Harrison Ford's words always come back. It's not that kind of movie, kid. And I don't think it is. I think it's a fun popcorn movie, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Just a popcorn movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing is this the whole world or is this just San Angeles?
Yeah.
Is it his own little pocket cult area? Everywhere else is
I was
disarray.
thinking that too.
That's you started asking questions. And
yeah, you can't ask questions in this.
The man that was that was his creation or whatever.
Oh, yes. The Dr. Raymond Cocteau.
Cocteau, which the name I absolutely could not get over. I looked up how to spell it, and it's spelled, Teau as a character, but my God. Anyway. All right, so we any other thoughts about this movie before we get into, the opening images and beats and all that? Hopefully you guys have some that I don't, because like I said, was a little bit of a loss. Any other thoughts?
No.
All right, so opening image, like I said, I think it moves on two tracks until we get to the fun and games. Opening image is 1996 L.A. Literally his first words, Spartans are, we're here to do good deeds. So he is action hero, just, saving lives, doing good deeds.
It was the helicopter pilot that he's talking to that ends up being the older man later. So that's when we see him for the first time as the helicopter pilot.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And I wish they had set that up a little bit more, like given us a little bit more with him being younger. Right, and establish
helicopter pilot.
Yeah, give us his name at least as the younger guy.
Yes,
If they did, I missed it, but I feel like Yeah, like because they're gonna have this relationship kind of later on. Granted, the older guy kind of disappears. Same thing with Rob Schneider. We'll get to that later, but he completely disappears for the third, third act. But I guess. But yes, James Wright. That's the older guy that knows about Spartan.
Yes, and there's it's revealed in some comment. They finally grounded me, and when I met you, when I knew you, or just snot nosed, whatever. Yeah. I think it becomes overly simplistic in a lot of places. But I think it consciously addresses issues that it knows you're going to have by these throwaway lines.
Sure.
There's this whole I guess we'll get in when we get into the catalyst. Opening image for Huxley: idyllic, almost childlike, somewhat dissatisfied with her life and job. No action, nothing to do, and then literally saying what I wouldn't do for some action. Yeah. Contrast with Spartan's maniac comment below, which
she's in 2036.
Yes, yeah. This is
later. Yeah.
Utopian LA versus dystopian LA, I guess, is the way to have it. Yeah, literally, so her ordinary world, her setup, her opening image is she's bored and wants some action. Contrasting Spartan's opening image, which is, do good deeds and action. So I thought up until the fun and games, I think it was working.
Yeah.
In terms of being a good buddy love partner, Riggs and Murtaugh situation.
Yeah, I like the setup of the movie a lot. Like it's 96, right? It's dystopian. He, is he's the only guy that can bring down this crazy criminal, Simon Phoenix. And he brings him down, but he, I guess ends up going to jail too because of the kids, the busload of, I don't know if they were kids or just tourists.
Involuntary manslaughter,
because Phoenix had already killed him, but he set it up and he was like, I told him he didn't care,
Right, no.
I wish they'd done more with that. Like you can see that he rushes in, right? Like Stallone rushes in, but his first thing as soon as he sees Phoenix is, where are the passengers, right? Like he's clearly concerned about them.
And he even says he did a thermal scan,
Yeah, I did a thermal scan, they weren't there, but I wish
they were already
does
dead.
That mean that they were dead already?
Yes.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie,
Phoenix had killed them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Later on in the movie, said that Phoenix tells Spartan.
During the car chase in the police car, and he's holding him outside the window. He's like, he reveals to him that
I missed that part, Phoenix had said, while he's talking to him, the police department got the message not to come down here. The post office got the message not to come down here, but the bus drivers didn't.
Right, but
I figured the bus drivers would be the first ones not to go down there.
No. The setup. So those are the opening images. They contrast. I thought that worked. Setup: Spartan, dystopian LA, violent, dark, gritty. Cop who catches maniacs. Phoenix, the current maniac.
He says maniac to catch. Send a maniac to catch one.
Yes. Yeah. I actually. Okay. So in absence of any other, I'm calling that the theme. Do you need a maniac to catch a maniac? Because you have and so that's the point you want to argue. And then, of course, you have utopian LA and these cops. Schneider even says,
we're police officers.
We're not trained for this level.
Yeah. So level of violence, which is good.
Yeah. So very much a pop.
They got iPads telling them what to do.
Yeah. With a tone.
With a firm voice. Tell the person.
Yeah. Tell the maniac.
or else.
Yeah.
Yes. So theme stated and argued. Do you need a maniac to catch a maniac? Well, here's people who aren't maniacs and they're not doing so good, so maybe you do. So that's about as all I could figure out for the theme.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, this movie is a lot of fun. The yelling captain is the actual captain from Lethal Weapon, yes?
Yes.
Captain Healy, I think.
In 96, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, yes, in 96, yes.
Yeah. I'm tired of this Demolition-Man crap.
Yeah.
There's the name. I know, yeah.
That's that's the standard action 80s, 90s action beat. The yelling captain, tired of your antics,
Yeah, it won, lots of property damage by the hero.
Yeah, yes. Things get demolished. He has spent 2 years chasing Phoenix, and his MO is he gets his man, but things get demolished. This is the setup for Spartan. And then the theme, like I said, send a maniac to catch a maniac. Lots of throwaway action lines, yelling Phoenix as he's jumping out of the copter.
For sure.
Slow-mo runs with explosions behind
right,
him.
That's what Sherry said. Of course he has to run with an explosion.
Why is he running so slow? He realizes that's blowing up behind him, right? He should run faster.
Oh, my goodness. Setup for Huxley. Utopian LA 2030. Underground resistance known as the Scraps, led by Mr. Friendly. His people are starving. Huxley obsessed with 80s, height of the action era. Anything bad for you is deemed illegal.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily just 80s. It's like getting a 20th century.
Right? Well, that's true. Yeah, because she has the Lethal Weapon 3 poster.
Yeah, it was the same year, I think. 92 or 93.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I thought 3 was an odd choice. Like,
Well, because I think Richard Donner.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Silver.
Joe
Silver's
Silver,
producer on all
yeah.
of them. Yeah, he produced those, and then this. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything bad for you is deemed illegal. Now, I was a big fan of her in this movie. Her character. I wrote she is actually in the setup. I wrote she is actually the smartest person in the room. She is tough, can fight as well as Spartan, and resourceful. The only one who thinks to find a way back. Who thinks to and finds a way to track the escaped Phoenix, which makes what Spartan does to her in the end a real missed opportunity and baffling. But then I wrote, but shut up and eat your popcorn. So in a lot of ways, Huxley is the smartest, most capable person in the room at any given time.
Yeah, and she's trying to do stuff like before they thaw Stallone out. Yeah, she's the one that, he takes out the cameras, so she thinks to go further out, get the cameras and zoom in. And then, she knows a lot of, she's setting up the rules of the world for the audience, right? By a lot of the stuff she's saying in that scene, but it's hidden very well.
Yes.
Exposition. That scene works a lot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think we talk about Phoenix enough. Wesley Snipes as Simon Phoenix is a lot of fun. Like, you could tell he was having a shit ton of fun in this movie.
Yes. They had to block around him because he would never sit down and stop moving in this movie. Like when they were filming, there was never a time, like he was just, I don't know that it was required, but he was just so amped up that it was always movement, never sitting down. So they just started having to block around him and try to shoot him.
Nice.
Jackie Chan was offered this movie as Phoenix, but he was like, my fans don't want to see me as a bad guy.
And I still can't see that.
No,
I can't picture that in my head. I'm having a really hard time. Not that Jackie Chan can't play a bad guy. I read that too. And I'm like, really? Jackie Chan is Simon Phoenix? I can't picture that.
I think Snipes was the guy. Now, Jackie Chan's in a movie where his daughter gets killed. I haven't seen it, but it looks... The Foreigner, yeah, and it looks actually dark and gritty, a revenge flick. So he's not the bad guy in that, but he's definitely capable of, dark and gritty. Yeah, in the setup, Phoenix, we learn, is a tool of Cocteau to eliminate his own nemesis, Mr. Friendly, for messing up his pretty city. So this is the setup, essentially, for Huxley, the world she lives in.
Yeah, because he breaks out. He knows passwords and stuff that he shouldn't know, breaks out of the cryo prison, and then he goes down to the street and he finds almost like this, I don't know, ATM with internet type thing, right? This weird kiosk that he's at, and I don't know, that was some of my favorite lines is when he starts typing, he's like, oh damn, I'm possessed. Yeah. Like he's surprised too that he has
play the accordion too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, damn, can I play the accordion? Right. Yeah. So he's surprised to have these abilities. I showed that scene to Lath because there's a citizen that's there talking to this kiosk at first, and he's like, I just don't feel well today or whatever.
Right.
And
You're fine.
And he throws him out of there or whatever. But because I told Lath, this is where we're headed in society.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if we're ready to get into that or not, but that's definitely where we're headed. You can't
Sherry
offend anybody for anything, so it's all going to be well, citizen, and
sure, and I understand why that it was up for some Saturn Awards for best because sci-fi at its best should be prophetic and it should be commentary.
Yeah,
and I think the screenplay is smart in that sense. You have. Back in '93, there wasn't Alexa, right? But no, everything is voice activated, self-driving cars.
Yep.
This whole notion of because this was the second time when I was watching it with Sherry that it caught my ear. They're singing the Armored Hot Dog song, and all kids like this, even sissy kids. Did you catch this line in the Armored Hot Dog song?
Even sissy kids, right?
Smart kids, tough kids, even sissy kids like Armored Hot Dog. I'm like,
I guess I did. Yeah, it's funny.
And
I hear it now that you said that.
Yes,
yeah.
And I think that's the real commercial. I don't think that's
and that's funny that this world wouldn't bleep it out though, right?
That's true.
Yeah, this world,
because we didn't bleep it out in '93.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something if now in 2023 we go back to Demolition Man and whitewash Demolition Man?
Because that's what they're doing, man.
Right. No, that's funny. No, I meant the Demolition world, the 2036 society bleeping. They're they didn't bleep out the word sissy kid, sissy,
it was only the second time I heard. I'm like, why? You can't say that. It's
so wild.
Yeah,
so wild.
Yes, but it is almost prophetic, like you were saying, in that sense. So I think on its core level, it was a fairly intelligent.
Swear machines getting fined for swearing anywhere in public.
Yeah, that running gag was because even in the distant background you can hear it.
Yeah, I always laughed at that.
Yeah,
John Spartan.
That was one of the things I did remember from
Figured out that seashell thing pretty quick.
Yeah, Phoenix. Phoenix's response to that's probably like my favorite when he, because he's there, same scene. He's at the kiosk and he's doing what? Fuck you. And then, I don't remember how many times he does it, but then the police are coming. And like, as soon as it says police have been notified, and then he immediately hears the sirens because they're already on their way.
Yeah.
Oh, fuckers are fast too. And you hear it and go off again. Yeah, just the way he did it.
I loved Stallone up there, just
cussing it
whispering,
yeah.
so that he could have,
so he can wipe his ass.
Did you catch all?
Genius.
Did you catch all these? At some point, he calls the machine a duck fucker. Did you?
No, I didn't hear that.
No, here he goes. He goes, "Thanks a lot, you shit brain fuck face ball breaking duck fucking pain in the ass."
Yeah, duck fuck. Okay.
John Spartan, you were fined 5 credits for repeated violation.
I'm like, okay, I get all those others. I get all those others, but duck fucker, that's a reach. Points for creativity, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think the movie starts to fall apart structurally, but I enjoyed the whole movie. You have to go in realizing what you're getting and not expect something else. All right, so that's the setup for both of them. Any other thoughts on their worlds? And
yeah, just his Spartan, his name being Spartan, you could tell the
Spartans, the toughest fighters and this kind of thing.
Well, that and just like if you're Spartan about your life, like you don't want luxury,
yeah,
right? And he was against all the luxury and all the easiness of the new society. Right?
Sure. Yeah, no, that's
like
cool.
I felt like that was
the other one was Huxley.
Yes, and
Aldous Huxley.
Well, I
wrote Brave New World. Yep,
Brave New World.
Okay. I actually. I didn't get as far as Brave New World because I'm like, Huxley, okay, does that mean something? So I asked Alexa about, Aldous Huxley and gave me his bio writing, but I forgot about Brave New World. Because at first I thought, did he write 1984? No, that was Orwell. I said, well, Huxley, could that be a reference to Aldous Huxley? And then when it just gave me his bio, I'm like, probably not. But Brave New World, that nails it. That's absolutely, yeah.
Then you got Edgar Friendly, who
is the bad guy. It's the
bad guy.
Yes, they're billed as because Cocteau obviously wants to take control of this. I don't know how he could have more control than he already has. But his game is to get rid of Friendly, so that he can really take control.
Friendly's stealing stuff.
Yeah, and so they're billed as these terrorists, and I think the reveal is that they're hungry and they're just stealing food.
Well, I like that. I don't
looking for something to eat.
I don't know if I read too deep into it, but Cocteau releasing Simon Phoenix, is it just like, hey, I've got this little problem, we can release one of these criminals and have him just handle it, and then we can take care of the criminal? Did he not realize who Simon Phoenix was?
Well,
like just this madman, and now he's released Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, I don't know what Cocteau's plan was to get rid of this.
Yeah, to put Phoenix back.
It's like, you get a snake to take care of the rats, now you got a snake problem,
Yeah.
I guess he thought he was good because, this guy can't ever hurt me. Like he programmed him where he couldn't shoot him or whatever, almost like a RoboCop type thing.
Yes,
but,
and then
that scene, I laughed so hard when I said, you didn't expect him to recruit other people and someone else shoots you.
Right.
Jesse the Ventura.
Sure, yeah.
And then the chief, Bob Gunton, Chief George Earl, he's the guy that played in Ghostbusters Afterlife. He was...
Oh, yeah.
The guy that played the chief was... Oh, what's his name?
Harold
Ramis. Egon,
yeah, which blows my mind.
That actor, they used that actor to do Egon.
Yeah.
It blows my mind away. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry, Phil.
Because he raises Phoenix to take care of Friendly, and it kind of bites him in the ass because then they raise Spartan to take care of Phoenix, which he...
Yeah, I don't think he anticipated them doing that.
I don't think so either.
No.
Yeah, it's like he grabbed a flamethrower to take care of some ants, and now everything's on fire.
Right, yes. Spartans... so that's the setup for Huxley and Spartan. The catalyst for Spartan, initially I thought it was probably around the time that he was getting out of cryo, but as I watched it a second time, I'm pegging this catalyst for Spartan as the missing hostages are all dead, killed by Phoenix, but Spartan is charged with involuntary manslaughter, sentenced to 70 years in cryo. So I think that's really where his call to action begins. I'm pegging it as him being charged with involuntary manslaughter, kicking him into heading toward the
you sound real confident about that.
Well, I
the way that you're saying it and looking at it.
Well, because I'm waiting for Chris to say no, it's this.
Okay.
I like I said,
I'm being thought out. you put Phoenix away. Now you're being thawed out.
I think
that's your catalyst because it's
the death of the hostages and him being charged with manslaughter.
Go back in the fridge. That's his choice, and so he breaks into two by
but
choosing to embrace this. Try to survive in this weird new world and stop Phoenix. So.
Yes, but I think the catalyst is the hostages, not necessarily him.
No, I think it's him being thawed out because he was frozen, not doing shit.
Yeah,
I think that's just part of the setup. Is the
right? That's
initially get both these guys in the future. Well, we got to freeze them or something, right? Something,
Yeah, because your opening and closing images, you got the building on fire, and then you have everything frozen.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
I didn't think about the fire or the ice thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, because the debate
is going to be another Mummy situation here, Phil.
well, yeah, because his opening. All right, so his opening is being a rogue and above the law and being hauled away, right? Being arrested for a crime he didn't commit. Closing image, he gets to kiss the girl and his walkway being celebrated. Right, even though he's just messed up society.
Yeah,
right. Well, yes, but his ordinary world is to catch bad guys, and this, except for him being charged with involuntary manslaughter, he never would have been froze.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
I think his debate.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. Being frozen is his catalyst. Yeah. All right, and then.
Yes, but I think his
frozen
debate,
and then thawed out 36 years. It's all in one. Being frozen and thawed out in 2036. That's your catalyst. Because his breaking two has got to be. Yeah, I'm not going back in the fridge. I'm going after Phoenix. Still.
Yeah, when he finds out Cocteau's behind it, like once he sees that Phoenix and Cocteau are together, I think that's your break into two area.
Okay.
That again, I don't know shit about shit.
Well, I think this movie is essentially a setup with fun and games. So that's why I guess I struggled. That's why I was hoping you guys were able to nail it. And
yeah, I have him finding out about Cocteau. Like that's bad guys close in. Like that's.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I never got that far.
Yeah, that's when he sorry, we haven't got there yet, but I'm thinking the defrosting his crew.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all bad guys close in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
To me, yeah.
No, and
I'm not saying they were rock solid. It was just
just take it beat by beat and tear down what Philip thought.
Right. Well, I'm good up to about the second act, and then I'm off the rails. All right, so
James goes again.
All right.
Not one lesson, Pop.
All right, that's the catalyst part. Catalyst for Huxley, I have Phoenix, with some assistance from Cocteau, escapes and commits 11 murder-death kills. With no other capable resources, it is suggested by Spartan's old helicopter pilot that Spartan may be the answer. So I'm pegging this as Huxley's catalyst because it spurs her to recommend that they get this guy.
Yeah, because they ask, like, what did you do back in the 20th to catch Simon Phoenix? Oh, we released, we had John
did all the shit, but
in
the end
it was just one guy. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pegging as Huxley's catalyst that gets her thinking. Debate for Spartan. Now, I think there's precious little. So he's being marched into cryo. And obviously he doesn't want to go to cryo, but he marches fairly briskly and willingly to his sentence. I don't know that there was ever, I guess, and so if the movie was more...
Talking about the beginning, when he's being frozen.
Yes, because like I said, I'm putting these together, but there's a whole set of beats, opening image debate for Spartan, and then there's a whole opening image debate, blah, 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 for Huxley. So I guess I'm comparing these two. He submits to his sentence, understandably not happy about it. I said it lacks any real dark, dig deep down, introspective beats, so there is none here. In a more serious sci-fi, I think you would have seen even just a montage of the trial and him protesting and struggling against this and demanding, his innocence and being found guilty and marched off to. I
see what you're saying, but I think that only works if that's the catalyst, right? Because think about Tango, think about Tango and Cash, right? When their catalyst is for sure getting framed and going to jail.
Okay,
right?
Yeah, sure.
And you see the trial, you see all the stuff,
yes,
and we have the great moment. We're not reviewing this movie, but we have the great moment with Kurt Russell's character where he thinks he's going to say something elegant, and he's like, "Yeah, this whole thing fucking sucks," right? So it's that's their catalyst. So I don't think this is this is just setup, man. We got to freeze this guy so we can thaw him out in the future.
Yeah,
it's a catalyst for the writer to figure out. You know what I mean? It's just
yes.
How do we get this guy in the future?
Yeah, we as the audience know that Simon Phoenix played a game on him and framed him.
Yes, it all moves very quickly.
And I think he's pissed because I put this guy away, and now I'm being put away. Fuck that. Skip it. Like he's just pissed. And I guess I'm sure he did do everything he could to try to, I'm sure he said all kinds of stuff during the trial. Maybe in this world, Spartan is the one saying this whole thing fucking sucks. And
because that institution that he was in sucked. It obviously crumbled after the big one or whatever.
Yeah,
the society after that sucked. Yeah. So now Huxley's bringing back the guy that thought the other thing sucked, and I don't know.
So at various points, I had to remind myself it's not that kind of movie.
That kind of movie.
I have no interest in adding any real humanity to these characters. So no trial scenes, no angst scenes. Marches rather quickly to his punishment. His only final words are "skip it." And in my mind, I'm saying the movie is saying, hurry up, this is a slow scene and we need to get to the action kind of thing, which is...
Yes,
but it's part of the setup to get to the 2036 stuff.
Sure, no, I hear you.
You gotta move, because imagine they had a trial and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, this movie would be 3 hours long.
Well, it was 2 hours. I mean...
yeah, it's 2 hours. Okay, it would have been 2.5, Like, that's really long.
Well... to take a play from Coster don't give a flying fuck how long a movie is. He's going to tell the movie to make a good story. I don't know that, because I think at the end of this movie, you wind up thinking, man, that was some good popcorn and a lot of flashy stuff.
I'm feeling gassy from that popcorn.
Which is fine, but and I don't want to review a movie they didn't make, but,
sure,
you could have made something substantial here. It didn't have to be.
Yeah.
But if you're making bubblegum, they did a damn good job. So
but I feel like we have that beat that you're talking about, right? Him, raging against the circumstances and the trial, and this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
When he wakes up. Like, it's brief, but he wakes up and he's all pissed off. Hold on. Y'all, I don't remember his exact lines, but he's like, y'all thought me out to put away a guy that I already fucking did for you?
Yes.
Right? And my family's fucking gone. Everything I knew is fucking gone?
Yes.
Yeah, that is his moment of what you're...
Well, it's not even a full moment.
Okay, half a moment.
Yeah. Anyway, I said, which is fine.
Give me a Marlboro. What? A cigarette, any cigarette.
I said, if you want to see things blow up, hear cool lines, and eat your popcorn, this is the movie for you. And I was never bored, and I never didn't enjoy myself.
But you wanted more.
I thought sure. You could have made this. Yeah, I mean, anyway. So this is what I'm talking about. The debate, I think, carries over into his awakening. So you have the catalyst, and then the debate, I think, crosses the line from 1996 to 2030.
Damn it, Phil, now you got me rewriting this thing. Because, it would have been cool to have a moment after he wakes up. Everything's gone.
Yeah, right? Sure.
And I think they should just kill the daughter off. Because they established she's alive, and then nothing ever happened
for me, too. Yeah,
they never... Yeah, kill them both off if you're not going to have him ever reunite with her. But for his debate, he stalled out. He goes, and I mean, we could have had a scene of him in the graveyard looking at both their tombstones.
But in the extended scene, she is alive.
Yeah, they had scenes. They cut them.
No, I knew that. Right, but you fucked that up then. So take the line out that she even exists. Yeah,
right. the scene where they're underground or whatever, the lady that... That's when the shooting starts and he grabs and pulls down the lady with the long hair, that's his daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was going to be part of it.
She was in there.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder, James. Yeah.
So,
they could have kind of cool.
They could have taken it out.
Missed opportunities.
But when I was a kid, the whole time I was like, oh, his daughter is Sandra Bullock. Like, that's going to be the big reveal at the end.
Yeah.
That would have been
And then they have their sex and the thing. I'm like, okay, that's going to be real weird if they find out that they're related.
Yeah, well... No, that would have fitted because she would have been cut from the same cloth. I mean,
that would have been cool. But then you had the sexual tension, and then
sure. Well, I think that was put in there because we got bombs and explosions. We got to have
So it was kind of Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock love story or father daughter story. Well, we'd rather see the love story with explosions.
Love. Anyway, the debate carries over into his awakening, which is. In what is probably the second act, I'm saying he wakes up in the second act is what I'm saying, tells them forget it, but accepts the call because it's better than going back into cry. So his whole debate is a sentence or two.
Yeah, that's right. Because they tell him like you either do it or you go back.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So there's not much of a debate.
Right. And for Huxley, there is no debate. You could reinstate him. The only real debate is on the part of Chief Earl, who calls him animal, caveman, primate, savage, and Neanderthal. I don't think he ever calls him Spartan or John. But caveman, But
wouldn't that captain have been alive, possibly in the service of some point in his life? Because the captain's in his 50s, 60s?
Yeah, he's probably just a little younger than the pilot, right?
That's only if he was been on the force that whole time.
So that
maybe
means
he was an accountant or some shit.
So that means he's at least my age now.
Sure.
Which means he would have been 10 or 15. He would have remembered John Spartan in L.A. doing all
Sure.
his Demolition Man.
There are some story logic problems.
Why would he still call him Caveman?
Right.
The way he acts and the way he's acting like a caveman.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Sure. No, he is.
He's
not
around.
a savage, a primate.
He's not enlightened, and he's not with Dr. Cocteau's
Yeah, he is not.
thing. I gotcha. That's what he meant by caveman was.
He's not walking around telling people to be well,
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's
be well, comrade.
It's not that kind of movie because when 187 code 1, and I mean even Sherry said, "Isn't that murder?" Like everybody knows what 187 is. It's murder.
Yeah.
Huxley had to look it up.
Yeah, last time somebody was killed was
like 15 years ago. Right. Sure, but she had to look it up, which is fine. But you got the helicopter pilot who was around. He doesn't say, "Oh, 187 is a murder." He just sort of smiles and lets her look it up.
He's not like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
We hadn't had one of those
because we had to see Huxley doing her thing on the computer. So it's not that kind of movie. I'm fine with that.
But you can't praise the fact that she was doing all the cool things and then knock it at the same time. Because
right. But
story logic wise, the old dudes in the room should have fucking known what it was and been like, "Oh, that's it should have been him starting it."
Yes,
yeah.
and
but you still heard Thunder.
If you're a cop, you should know all the codes, regardless of.
Right, whether or not they've been.
I was going to say they don't have the codes, but clearly they do.
And it would have been more credit to her if she was like 187. Nobody else knows 187. That's a murder because she's done all this research. Did you read my study and this kind of thing. So anyway, I still think she was probably the smartest, most capable person in the room.
How about Rob Schneider?
He doesn't know about the seashells.
Yeah, but I can understand. Break into 2, Huxley. Spartan is thawed out, and she is partnered with him. Okay, so I wrote here we have what could be a progressive and fun two-hander that I think is completely gutted in the end, in my opinion. Break into 2 for Spartan, lamenting his wife, I said, for about 90 seconds. He learns of Phoenix and accepts the call. Because, anyway, and despite his daughter still being alive, he refuses any inclination to see her again. She undoubted. Now, this, again, not that kind of movie, but it did pull me out. His daughter is alive. Spartan made the news, had to.
Yep.
Resurrecting a cop from the 90s, all the action. His daughter never comes to the station and slaps his face. I don't know anything.
Well, James answered that because she's down in the gutters,
yes.
right?
She's not part of the new society.
She's part of
right,
friendly.
but it was.
We don't know that, right?
No, we don't, and it was cut out.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And
dumb.
never
Either do something with that storyline or cut it entirely.
Well, and they was sensitive to it because
they should have skipped it.
They're in the car, and she was like, "It might be a minor misuse of police power, but I can find her address or whatever." And he stops her.
Yeah, they turned it into the moment about contact, as opposed to
the
moment about his daughter.
Yeah, makes no effort. So
so clearly they were estranged, because he didn't want to reach out to her, and she didn't care that he made.
Well,
the
he
news
thought
and he
that.
was alive.
Yeah, we don't know that there was ever a rift, but he just says, "I don't know that she'd want to have me be part." A throwaway line because they knew they had to address it. Anyway.
Yeah.
But not that kind of movie.
That's so dumb. They should have just killed her.
Right. Absolutely.
They both died in the big one.
Yeah. Seemingly next of kin would... again, it seemed to me...
Or make Bullock the daughter, which is obviously not the way they wanted to go, but yeah.
Right. But if Spartan is being released, any living next of kin I thought would have been notified as well, right? I mean, this...
Yeah.
In a real... This is... This is summarily ruled out by Chief Earl saying, "We did not wake you up for a family reunion." And I wrote, "Shut up and eat my popcorn." Got it.
Yeah, that's definitely what that line was, for sure.
Yes. All right. So we're coming to the end of my tracks, and then I'm hoping.
What about Phoenix's mom, man? What about his wife? What about his brother?
Sure.
Were they notified?
I don't know. B story. I think in any two-hander, obviously the characters should be each other's agent of change. Here I think the beat is fuzzy and gutted by the inexplicable ending. It ain't Huxley on the... Yeah, I wrote it ain't Huxley on the poster. That's why... Anyway, we'll get to that. It's Spartan and Phoenix on the poster, not Huxley. And so I wrote, it was like, oh shit, we developed what could possibly be a character with some depth. Quick, Spartan, knock her out.
Yeah.
We got this problem. There's a character who's got some depth and capability. What do we do with her? Oh, just take her out of the whole third act or whatever.
Yeah. It was even worse than that to me. It was, a female that can't handle it. Nope, knock her out. Make sure she's safe.
Well,
like that's after she had just proven that
she had just literally
can't handle it. That's what I'm saying.
Every bit as good as Spartan. She took care of her guys while Spartan was taking care of his.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's real bad. Like we've had females kicking ass in cinema since the 70s, right, and all through the 80s. So, but in this one,
Jackie Brown, what's her name?
Yeah, exactly. So after she kicks ass, nope, dude's got to go.
Yeah, It's for your own good.
And save it. What?
No, it's for your own good. Yeah.
It would have been so much better if he knocks her out, because especially if they're going to try to show change, right? He knocks her out, and then she wakes up and ends up saving his ass.
The whole time in the final battle with Phoenix, the whole time I'm thinking, you dumb mother, you had a partner.
If you had a partner, yeah, that would have been better.
Anyway, which I shouldn't be saying. You shouldn't be thinking those, but
yeah,
the action scenes were good, and I enjoyed that.
But he doesn't change. So is he his flat art? I don't think he changes.
Yeah, but he doesn't change.
He changes the world around him.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, but that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I mean, it's all
other than he can knit and all that,
which we never see him. Well, no, he knits her a sweater.
Does.
He does knit her a sweater. Yeah. Yeah,
and licked a lot of ass. I mean, kicked a lot of ass.
Right. So I mean, yeah, that all was very fun.
This job and shovel it.
Shovel it. Yeah,
close enough.
I enjoyed her character, and it was set up, I think, to be this two-handed partner deal, because she yells into the thing. I want it 90 seconds ago, and
yeah,
I know. Anyway, I think that they realized, oh my God, we got her. But it's a Stallone movie, so we gotta take her out.
Well, she was new at the time. He's the draw, right?
Sure.
I mean, I'm not saying that's an excuse for what they did. It was just trying to understand.
Yeah,
I guess maybe that would make sense. Maybe she wasn't big enough to handle. Sandra Bullock wasn't the big enough star power.
Well, no, I'm sure of that.
The third pack, yeah.
Like I said, her face was not on the poster, so.
That's interesting, though, because a year later.
Yeah.
Speed, she very much helps him every so. No point does he go, hey, let me knock you out. I got this, right? Like they do it together.
I would be willing to bet
behind for her,
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet, knowing what we know about Keanu Reeves, if that was in the script, he'd be like, no, we're not.
Right.
No, that's no,
Sure.
Anyway, I don't think that. I think that it was. I don't want to say smarter writing, because I think the writing was good here. They just, I think, were forced by other agencies to sort of.
Yeah, maybe there was more to it, and the producer's like, no.
Well, with 3 writers, I would like to have read that script by the first guy.
Yeah.
Just to see. Because it could have been, and I think that's probably not what they were going for, but it could have been a darker, edgier piece of sci-fi.
Sure.
What was that Tom Cruise movie? The
Minority Report.
Minority Report, yes. Could have been very much, but I don't think that's what they wanted. Stallone didn't want that. I think he wanted, I gotta have some stuff blow up, man. I mean,
damn.
Anyway,
damn.
But that's not to say that Stallone can't do weighty stuff, because he has. You won an Oscar for freaking Rocky.
Right.
Anyway, we're reviewing the movie they made, not the movie we wish they made. Anyway, that's the B story. The Fun and Games, with both characters joined at around the 48-minute mark, they move together into the Fun and Games, which is the last beat in this movie, in my opinion, covering the rest of the movie, all 72 minutes of it. So every other scene, I guess 23 of them I wrote down.
So
I think it's all fun and games. I cannot figure out a time.
Taco Bell is Fun and Games?
Yes, because the friendlies attack, right?
Yeah.
Toilet paper shells, armor hot dogs, fight at the museum, no kiss, kiss, bang, bang. I thought was cool. Did that come out before or after? Was that before?
Kiss, kiss, bang, bang?
Yeah.
That's after. But I think it's an old saying, but the movie.
Yeah, because Cocteau says to, no kiss, kiss, bang, bang. I'm like,
it's an old saying.
Well,
I think it references the 40s or 30s.
Okay,
right?
all
Those
right.
type of noir movies.
I didn't know if it was reference to the movie. And I thought that's, yeah.
Yeah. Talking about Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer, right?
Yes.
Shane Black. Yeah, that was way later, for sure.
Mashed his meat, licked his ass. I thought, Taco Bell, Schwarzenegger joke, Mr. Friendly comes dinner, Phoenix talks with Cocteau. Would you like to have sex? Spartan learns about Cocteau. All these are the movies. Spartan, Huxley, and Garcia visit the underground, Ratburger. Spartan meets Friendly, Phoenix staff meeting, So basically the rest of the movie I'm listing as set pieces in Fun and Games. So now I need to be corrected about this, because I would like to know if there was.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
There was never a setback, never dig deep down, never. I'm not even sure.
There wasn't a really good, All Is Lost and
I looked for
Dark Knight or whatever to me, but I definitely had a midpoint. I have him being invited by Cocteau to Taco Bell as a midpoint, as a false victory. He's this Neanderthal, right?
Yeah.
In this society. He's the outcast, and he's being invited by the mayor to the restaurant, or to the place, right? He's being. Now it quickly gets turned upside down, and he realizes, that the conversation is bullshit or whatever,
Sure.
and he doesn't he's not
I don't
down
know,
with
thank
the
you.
society. Right. And then the Friendly and the people show up or whatever, and he goes out there and beats them all up, and
learns
that they're just looking for something to eat. So now that's because right after midpoint, his bad guys close in, right? He's realizing, okay, even in this world, these homeless people that are terrorists they're supposed to be the bad guys, but they're not. They're just a bunch of people looking for something to eat. And then,
Yes, yes.
and then from then on, it's more bad guys close into me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then for the All Is Lost, they kill Cocteau, the savior of society or whatever, even though he was a douchebag. And then Phoenix escaping, right?
Yeah.
And then going to the cryo prison to let out Dahmer and more people.
What about
What'd you have, James?
let me get my notes. What about the first place he's gonna go is to get a weapon, to get a gun.
Yeah, the
He's
fight
gonna
at the
go-
museum. Like,
Yeah, that's
There's a
funny.
fight at the museum.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then as soon as that happens, he jumps out and finds Cocteau, points a gun at him, and
Can't
misses,
kill him because
right?
he's been, programmed.
So that would be a false defeat.
For Phoenix, sure. But I guess I was mapping it from Spartan's
yeah,
point of view.
Spartan.
'Cause
Well,
Spartan sees that later on.
No, yeah, Spartan chases him and loses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's just back and forth. And
Yeah,
to
it's
me,
a yes,
just back and
no.
forth. Yes, no, and fun and game stuff. I don't think that's necessarily I think it's too early for
Oh, okay.
to me. I mean, it could be, I guess, but.
Because for some reason on my TV, when I pause it, I don't get to see timestamps.
Yeah.
I don't know why, so I don't know
Where it's at.
Well,
yeah.
I was very interested to know because almost an hour in, I thought, okay, well, now we've got everything set up and the break into two, which was late, way late. It should have been at 48 minutes. You should be hitting the midpoint.
Yeah, there's a little bit of setup there.
Well, I'm just thinking
Which I'm fine with as far as the two-hander, but then
I'm thinking that break into two is them going to the museum to try to stop him. So yeah, that's where I had the break into two. I guess is them going to the museum. He's going to get a gun. We got to stop him here. And
I mean
so
that makes sense
that
because it's
starts
a
the
clear
fun
break,
games.
and then the fun and games.
Because he's accepted. Okay, I'm in this world now. What do you mean you don't have guns? I'm driving. Oh wait, no, I can't drive because it's a car seat thing. And
No.
Stalled out, and he didn't go back in the fridge. He's embracing this.
yeah, he's
world
embracing.
and
So that's
trying
where
to-
I'm having the two.
How do I catch Phoenix in this weird ass
Sure.
world? Yeah. Okay, you drive. Yeah. And they listen to someone because the Oscar Mayer songs and shit.
Yeah.
And he's in the back. Someone put me back in the fridge.
Right.
You know?
And then you have the battle, and
Right.
then he escapes.
Because it seems like they are storming a castle. Because I wanted to say, okay, well, they're going.
Yeah, the big showdown with the cryo is definitely the break into three, and he goes in, breaks into three alone because he knocks her out. Which
Yes.
which is ridiculous.
Well, no, that would be the Hightower surprise, guys.
Oh, okay.
Because he got the team together. They're going to stop everybody. They kick all the
what was the
henchmen's
team?
asses.
I guess that was another quick. Because I tried to map out the 5 points. Like, well, he doesn't have a team.
Yeah, Friendly and them show up, and then they do absolutely nothing.
Right.
Dumb.
And his one team member he knocks out.
Yeah, as the Hightower surprise.
Oh,
I guess I'm just
Well,
putting.
he created his own
I see
surprise then because it should.
Yeah, I'm throwing
Surprise,
shit at the
actually.
wall.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's a surprise to me. Why the fuck would he do that?
Yeah, and that would even
Right.
work. And there's something that would work even better if, I would buy him knocking her out if he's got a partner at the beginning and Phoenix kills the partner, right? That he.
Yes.
So then he's because he says I did it to protect you, right?
Yes.
You know? So then I can see
After
him
she
knocking
just. Because
after she just proved she could saved his life. She'd handled
Sure.
herself
Yeah, and she yes.
and saved his life.
Now there is some lament. Oh, I took another man's life. Maybe he's protecting her from feeling bad about having to kill more people, but
yeah.
she seems fine. I mean,
Even that would have been better. He doesn't knock her out, and she can't go on. She's sitting there so upset about it because
Sure.
I've committed a murder, death, kill, or whatever. You can have her all upset, and he's got to leave her. Hey, I got to go. I got to go
Sure.
chase Phoenix. She gets her shit together and comes and saves him later on.
Yes, but her again.
You're rewriting this movie.
Yeah, and she's not on the poster, and we came to see
This was like
Stallone.
her first movie.
It should have been
Yeah,
on the
sure.
poster.
Sure.
Release the Sandra Bullock cut.
That's
of
right.
This
Well,
movie.
I want the
and I
Huxley
think
cut.
the mistake is that they created this character that was capable and was smart, and
But it's 93. Nope.
It might have been
Knocked out
I don't know. It might have been.
and then to like now this is looking at it from modern eyes. I don't know that we made, but how
It's sexist.
cringy is it that
That was my first take on it. Was whoa.
you know
That's what I'm saying. We've had women kicking ass since the 70s. So
You know.
why in 93 they decided?
I'm the man, I'm the guy on the poster. You sit this one out, and then because at the end, she says. But the first time I watched it for review, I remember her
That's what I
saying,
heard in
"And
my
thank
head.
you for rendering me unconscious," which I thought, okay, well, but she in the
Very
second,
sarcastic about it.
yes, in the second time I watched it, she says, "We were a team. I did it for your own good."
Right.
So she does utter some little bit of a protest that we were supposed to be a team.
Ever since you said that, though, it's been running in my head. Now I'm hearing Stallone going, because I'm the one on the poster, Huxley.
Yeah. And to me, I thought that detracted from what could have been, an even better movie is, but they didn't want to make a serious piece, I don't think. Not certainly with the gags and stuff in it, which made it fun.
I don't want to put you on the spot, Sherry, but did that bother you at all? Did you think about it? I guess the way we're thinking, are we going too deep here and thinking too much about it?
No, well, the funny thing is, for some reason, I had looked down at that point in the movie, and then I looked up and I was like, what did he just do?
Yeah.
And I totally missed it, and then we got into the discussion about it then.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I don't understand. But
well, anyway, it's not that kind of movie.
Right.
Well, maybe they knew how they were ending it with everything freezing. What do you do?
Well, it was the case that they had a character that they didn't know what to do with, so that we can't have her in the final scenes.
Right.
Yeah, maybe the final fight scene was already written, and it's Stallone and Snipes going at it, and the big freezing thing, and then it's like, all right, we're storming the castle. Sandra Bullock's here. Shit, she's not in the fight.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
Knock her out.
Absolutely, they had to have some way to get her out of
all the other
picture.
guys that he had, right? Did Stallone take them all out, like the other guys he had taken out, right? Like, because Friendly shows up, yeah, we're here to do something, man, and then they do nothing, right? There's this whole other like battle. They could have like this big, huge battle against all these guys, like the Friendly and the Outcast people, right? Because Benjamin Bratt, right?
Yeah.
He joins up with them, and then
which
fucking A, and then fucking A what? Fucking
and
A,
that
you do
transition we
nothing.
never see. That was
you never see that again.
Yeah.
You know how
Maybe
he
some of
went
that was cut out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
It had to have been.
one bump on the head, and they explain it with these one-liners,
Yeah.
so they know.
Right.
They're intelligent enough to know that, okay, well, we've got to address this.
That's because I think James is right. I think they had this awesome third act they love, like the finale of Stallone and Snipes going at it.
Yeah.
Well, shit, we had all these
We
other
set everybody
stories.
up. Oh my God, what do we do?
Okay, knock her out. Bump on the headline.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gather the team, storm the castle,
Yes,
and then at
as
the
a
end you
team.
fight one guy.
Yeah.
And it would have been.
So it needs to be one-on-one.
There is this sense that he released 80 inmates, so there was enough to go around.
Right.
If you had this,
goddamn, I love that guy.
yeah, I mean,
Talking about
so
Jeffrey
you have
But he died like in 94.
Yeah.
who don't know?
Jeffrey Dahmer. He
Oh,
raised
yeah,
the
yeah,
name
yeah,
on the
yeah.
list. He goes, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, that was
goddamn, I love that
before he got
guy. Right.
the shit.
Or did he?
Hope my ass didn't look like that.
Or he's frozen.
Sure,
Maybe that's
sure.
what it really is.
But you could have had the 80 inmates and Snipes going against Stallone and his team in a battle royale. I mean, it didn't have to be the
Would've been
mano a
much better.
mano, except on the poster, you have
right.
these two faces, and that's where the
Yeah, and you show all the cops, like Rob Schneider and the rest of them,
yes,
punching a guy in the face and going, "Oh man, my hand!" Or
you have a freaking Braveheart moment, the Magnificent Seven where you rally the peasants.
Yeah, and Huxley could have made like a big speech and,
Sure.
and flubbed the lines,
Yes,
Let's go lick their
that would have been a
asses.
brilliant scene. I would have.
What was that one book that you sent me a long time ago? Is the rousing speech, and we're gonna go up there and we're gonna take the hill, and it's like take an excerpt right before the slaughter of the hill.
Yeah.
I forgot what book that was, but guys, Huxley up there, we're gonna go up there, we're gonna take it back, and they're all dead.
But I mean, I think that could have worked except now it's Stallone and well, we don't want that.
No.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, so I think you guys.
Hell, even having her get like hurt where she couldn't go on is better than him taking her out of the.
Well, she did get hurt. He zonked her.
You know
Yeah,
what
sure.
I mean? Him not doing it.
Yeah.
Having Phoenix, hurt her or something. I mean, it's still shitty, but
Right, having her jump in front of a guy that's gonna take a swing at Stallone and get knocked in the head,
right,
crumple to the ground, and he takes care
Well-
of that guy and then moves on.
That also would have accomplished. Okay, so now you're going to have this new society where cops are going to have to be a little more capable, and now they would have been had gone through this crucible.
right.
They would have been prepared for
Sure.
you not as clean, you not as dirty kind of situation.
Yeah, and I guess I just like, how do we know like the way it ends that the society is not going to end up right back where it was in '96?
Sure.
It's a power vacuum. Yeah, I'm sure. The cartels in Mexico are gonna sneak up and
Yeah.
take over.
All right. Well, I think I enjoyed it as a popcorn movie, but I kept wanting it to be more, and I kept seeing, well, because then he walks on and he never mentions his daughter again. Like he's just gonna go on and got a living daughter. I'm just not even gonna think about her again.
No, he's gonna trade fluids with Huxley.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah,
happy.
yes, yeah.
A woman who is younger than his daughter, I believe.
Probably.
Oh yeah, something that was funny in there is at one point Sandra Bullock has a line about how old he would have been, like how old he looks for his age,
Yeah.
right?
Nice.
You'd be 74. He's actually 76, like now.
Yeah, well, that's what because
He's
she's
76 now in 23, and that was supposed to be 2036. So he was definitely like,
she says something like not bad for a 72-year-old or something,
yeah.
And Sherry was like, "Well, how old is?" We looked it up. And yeah,
He said he's 76, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, you know what I mean? It wasn't even playing to age. Like John Spartan's much younger than Stallone is. You know?
Yeah, and what made me think of it was his hair's all white now.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, yeah,
and in that
Well, he said it on that first episode of the Family Stallone. He's like, I just got tired of dying or whatever.
yeah. With Pacino. What are you saying? You know?
No, me. Yeah, Pacino's like, you already saying I dyed my hair?
Yeah.
Right. That was funny.
Yeah. All right.
I did notice that him and Arnold both all of a sudden went from like, no gray to just gray. Yeah, I guess they both just finally said, fuck it, stop dying it.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't watched that Stallone thing on Netflix. Have you seen any of it yet?
The Schwarzenegger, the Fubar? I haven't.
Yeah. I haven't seen the documentary either. I need to watch
I think that's June 7th on the documentary.
okay. All right.
well, I'll be honest. Some of these men, when they reach a certain age, y'all know I love Tom Selleck. Okay, but his hair was so dark there for a while, and now he's gone salt and pepper, and that's nice.
Yeah.
I like the gray in there because he's in his 70s. I mean,
Right. Yeah, can't
So-
go running around like you used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Embrace your age a little bit. Yeah.
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 No,
Or is it
never,
real?
never, never.
Oh, I'm-
Yeah.
Do not go.
I'm-
Do not go calmly into that good night.
someone
right.
asked me, did I frost my hair? No, that's the white coming out.
Yeah.
So
We all have our things, you know, it happens. I
Yeah,
just
sure.
happen to be so strikingly good looking all the time
Right.
with little effort.
Good genes.
It's awesome. Yeah, they fit at least.
All right. Any other thoughts? I think we got it covered.
Yeah, this Demolition Man is this one, and this was my pick
Yes.
because I love it.
Yeah.
I love this movie. Loved it since I was a little kid. It came out when I was 10 years old. Saw it in the theater. It was just one of those popcorn.
Yeah. No, and it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
But it may be under scrutiny. It's not
Well,
that
you have
fantastic.
to you have to know what you're getting, and if you know what you're getting and you're happy with that, I think it's a good movie. You know, it's not that kind of movie, kid. So
Right.
stop asking questions and enjoy it. And
Yeah,
all right, we ready for
I think so.
our thoughts, Sherry?
yeah, are we gonna go around and do the?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna hit the.
I'm gonna hit my
boop,
button.
boop.
I'm like,
Yeah, no, we
speak.
it's
Are you ready for?
sometimes we have a little bit of time between recording that we lose our sharpness or whatever. But we're gonna do the beat our past consider record.
The next one will be even better.
All right, James, you want to kick us off? This was your pick.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it, but that's obviously just because it's my movie and I enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's quotable. It's funny. You
Yep.
laugh. You cry. You pat your friends on the back at the end of it.
Okay.
Really,
What?
no, it's awesome. it's just a good movie. I got it on all the platforms.
Yeah,
I've
sure.
got it on Amazon, DVD, Blu-ray.
Right.
So it's it's good. Wesley Snipes is a whole lot of fun in this
he is.
movie.
He is a lot of fun.
I think Dennis Rodman got his style based off Simon.
Definitely
Phoenix.
there. Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah, I read that. I assumed it was the other way around, but yeah, I read that, and I'm glad you
No,
brought
that's
that up.
true.
'Cause I
That's a
forgot
true
to
thing.
say that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that
just
Dennis
that
Rodman started
wild-
dyeing his hair because of Simon Phoenix's, blonde hair.
Really?
And then Simon
Oh.
Phoenix got the crazy eyes and the
Yeah. The two color I thought was cool. I thought-
clown pants.
He
and
did
then,
come to my mind when I was watching.
Yeah, Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman.
and then his his Wesley Snipes performance and the karate, the fight scenes. They were saying that he had to slow down so the camera could catch up. Obviously, like Bruce Lee. but,
Yeah.
like he is very fun in this movie.
No,
he's a very good villain
Yes.
to Stallone. They're very well matched, and that's the best part about good movies like that. Is the villain is every bit as
Yeah.
good as the protagonist is.
Yeah. It has to be almost more powerful than the protagonist. Almost.
Yeah. Make it definitely a challenge to overcome. And then the kind of limits that Cocteau put on Simon
Yeah.
Phoenix of you can't kill me, you can't do this. the way that he created his team and overcame that.
Somebody kill this guy.
And then Jesse the Body Ventura, of course.
Yeah.
He's the one that pulled that trigger. But
was that him? Okay.
Yeah, that was him. Because I was like, Jesse Ventura's in this? Where is he? And then he's in there for
and Jack Black is in this for about 4 seconds. And we had to... Sherry said she saw him. I guess I wasn't paying attention at the time or whatever, but I found the screenshot on...
And of course, you've always got the rat burger scene.
Yes. Yeah. I thought Stallone's reaction to Taco Bell was awesome. Taco Bell.
It wasn't the restaurant of wars or whatever.
You can see it processing.
It won the franchise wars.
Yeah, I saved your life and you want to take me to Taco Bell? I'm not going to be impolite. Okay, Taco Bell, I guess I could use a burrito. I thought his whole face and reaction, his processing was, that's one of my favorite scenes, actually.
Right.
That rat burger, when it says rat burger, pretty good.
Best burger I've had in years.
He quickly adapts to circumstances.
So, it's just, and then obviously the car chase with the 442, that is an awesome car.
Sherry was broken heart when they started shooting it up. Like, no, not.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Anyway,
so lots of cool bits, but it's a recommend for me just because of the nostalgia factor.
Sure.
I think you should skip it for sure.
Skip it like a total pass.
No, I'm playing.
Okay.
No, it's like a consider for me, not a recommend, but a consider. Like, if you consider it if you like Stallone and you haven't seen it, consider it if you like dystopian sci-fi movies, right? Or even utopian, I guess, for that matter. It's got too many, I guess, issues for me. I guess I've decided that I'm gonna try to save my recommends for just stuff that's just I guess hits on all cylinders. And as we talked about, the beats are all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Even though it was written before Blake Snyder's beats and all that stuff. It's fun. Yeah, popcorn movie, fun movie. Yeah. But it's just a consider for me.
Yeah. I am torn between consider and recommend because I enjoyed it. And if I enjoy it, why wouldn't I recommend it?
Right.
And I think if you go in thinking, disengage and like if you were having a bad day and just did not want to think and you wanted something that you knew you were going to have a good time watching, this is going to be one of them.
Yes.
And so at that point, I think it serves its purpose. So if you go in thinking this is going to be a lot of fun, I recommend it. If you find yourself starting to ask questions about plot holes in character, then, maybe this isn't the movie for you and wait to see it or don't see it. But it's not like, Pulp Fiction is not literature. This is not the cinema, but you're going to have fun watching it. And so it's either a strong consider or a recommend. And I'm kind of leaning toward recommend because it's a lot of fun, if you have
and the movie
right expectations.
I think the movie takes the right amount of care and basically telling you as the audience, don't think too hard about this.
No, I think it's sensitive enough to know where those plot holes are, and it puts a Band-Aid on them and says, keep it, and we're walking.
Yeah, exactly. So, in that case,
it wasn't unaware of where those weak points are because it did address them sometimes with the veneer of one line, but it did. So if you have those expectations, I think you're going to have a lot of fun watching this. And
so being intelligent enough to realize your story is flawed.
Right.
And, let's just cover it up with a line of dialogue real
Sure.
quick. As opposed to maybe you wrote the best story you can, full of holes, and you're just ignorant to those holes.
Yeah. That's
worse, or that's worse than having the foresight and the intelligence to cover it up. It's good if you can come up with a line of dialogue that kind of covers it up. How about go a couple extra steps and fucking fix your story, man?
I always would like.
Sure.
We basically rewrote a lot of this movie, and I thought I would have improved it.
I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's better.
It would have been better.
We came up with that sitting right here.
Well,
we pulled that out of our ass.
But we
Give us
created
3 months,
a edgy, darker sci-fi piece.
I didn't say cut out the comedy, Well, yeah, we talked about her storming the castle and let's lick their asses or whatever.
Sure,
but the problem is,
the line is,
the problem is this is a futuristic sci-fi type comedy. It's like a time travel movie.
Sure.
I was watching Austin Powers, the second one.
There's nothing wrong with
the other day. And, he goes back in time and they basically look at the camera and go, it's not that kind of movie. Just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Demolition Man didn't go that hard.
Maybe they should have. Maybe it'd be okay.
But it's like, this is a movie about a dystopian, utopian fight in the future. It's not like, don't get your expectations up too much.
Because in those lines, like with his daughter and other places where they just sort of, they are saying, just keep moving. You know, I mean, they literally are telling the audience, yeah, we know we're going to move on because we got to get to the, you know.
Suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, sure.
Like, yeah, really, like cartoon jingle, commercial jingles.
Yes.
Or on the radio. Really? Yeah, just keep moving.
Right.
Keep moving.
It
Keep
creates
going.
almost a goofy farce kind of feeling.
Sure.
Yeah, it was almost farcical type of thing.
So, you know, you can forgive it for that. It does seem a little illogical, but we're moving, you know, so.
True.
And if I didn't have a good time watching it, I probably would have been like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right.
I had fun watching it, which I have to
I
reconcile.
can't argue that either. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it, and laughed at the parts.
Yeah.
And,
Don't worry about this part. There's an explosion coming.
Yeah.
There's a funny line coming after that.
We're walking, explosion.
Yeah. Funny line, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
So.
All right, so I'm gonna give it a recommend.
A hard consider.
Hard consider, soft recommend. You're gonna have fun watching it if you.
So where did you come down? I'm confused. I thought there were only like 3 choices.
There are. I'm
a spectrum.
Right, on the spectrum.
If you can disengage your brain, it's a recommend.
Yes. I'll take that as a win. I'll take that every day.
Yes, not happy about that.
That's what I told my girlfriend. If you can disengage your brain, we're gonna have a great time.
If you can get, anyway, I almost thought of Idiocracy.
Chris is trying to take this seriously, and it's you got trying to have standards.
No, right.
I'm over here like I give it a color purple recommend.
I enjoyed it, which I feel a little bad about enjoying it almost because but it's not,
just enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not that kind of movie. So anyway, Jerry.
Oh, can I speak?
You can. We'll render you
Wait, hang on. Put up the volume.
Yeah, we'll render you unconscious. You're going to be out.
Oh, please.
It's for your own safety.
That's right.
Please. Okay. All right. So mine would be consider. And when I started watching this, of course, you got to realize this is a 30-year-old movie.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hard to believe it was 30 years ago that this came out.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw it, and I think we bought it on VHS.
Because I thought we had it, but then Sherry reminded us it was probably on VHS, which that sounds right.
And that's probably somewhere in the garbage or
might be in that cabinet out in the garage. To be honest with you, yeah.
Well, no, we got.
Oh yeah, we might have gotten rid of it. Yeah.
I remember the first time, or when we watched it, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Oh yeah.
The comedy, the whole swearing.
I remember the foam car scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything, was just so futuristic.
Yeah. But
watching it last night, I'm sitting there going, we got that now, the self-driving cars. It just wasn't as impressive to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you're more jaded now. I mean,
yeah.
But that's good sci-fi though that it was able to sort of.
But that's what I'm saying.
Far off.
Yeah, really right. No, there's a lot that rings true.
But that's what I'm saying. Back then, I would have highly recommended it. Probably saying, I enjoyed it, and I even went out and bought it.
Oh yeah, no, we bought it.
But now it's just consider it because I enjoyed Stallone. Wesley Snipes was out of this world in the movie, I thought, and of course Sandra Bullock. I laughed at her.
Yeah, I think
and Rob Schneider, Dennis, what is his name? Dennis Leary. I like to hear him.
Dennis Leary playing himself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I don't know how you talk.
I want to wear green jello and run down the street and
Yeah.
It might suddenly fucking feel like it. Okay.
Yeah. So because every time I turn around, I was like, oh man, they're in it. Oh man, they're in it.
Right. He's got I remember a comedy bit he had. I want to smoke cigarettes. I want to eat steak. I want to eat steak from cows that smoke cigarettes.
No, his song "Asshole" is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean,
so I guess it didn't hold up over time for you.
Not Dennis. There I go calling him Dennis. Wesley Snipes. See, I even called him Dennis.
Yeah, he was a big part of the fun on this.
Yeah, just awesome.
Yeah,
but that's.
So we got two recommends, a pass, and a consider?
No, I was a consider.
You were a consider? Okay.
2 considers, 2 recommends.
Yeah.
Soft consider.
Soft consider, yeah. All right, well.
Nice.
There you go. That was
Demolition Man. Yeah.
You got to cue up that Sting song.
Yeah, I had never heard that song. Sting wrote it.
I think it was a Police song. I think.
Was it? Okay, yeah. Because in the credits it says Sting.
Yeah, well, yeah, he
but
wrote the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but I think that's just where the title came from, but I don't.
Yeah.
know.
Was it a song before the movie, or was it?
I think so.
Yeah. All right.
Huh.
I think the Police were broken up by 93.
Yeah.
I think they were broken up in the 80s.
All right. Well, then we are out. I want us to talk about that either when we get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because it doesn't work as well as Riggs and Metal.
Well, I think it could have.
One of the earlier drafts were more serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the setup of the movie a lot. Because I told Blaze, like, this is where we're headed in society.
Oh, yeah.
So
but I feel like we have that beat that you're talking about, right? Him, right? You know,
I still think she was probably the smartest, most capable person in the room.
it was even worse than that to me. It was
Release the Sandra Bullock cut.
that's right.
This movie.
And they explain it with these one-liners,
Yeah,
so they know.
right.
Thanks a lot, you shit brain fuck face ball breaking duck fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah.